Lavvu and Goathi. Far above the Arctic Circle, Sami herders still raise two ancient shelters. The Lavvu sets birch poles in a cone and covers them with hides or modern canvas, light enough to move with reindeer herds. For longer stays, families build a Goathi, a frame of curved timbers padded with birch bark and thick turf that insulates against winter winds. Smoke from a central fire drifts through a roof opening, blackening the poles and keeping insects away. Both forms prove that portable design can thrive in sub-zero darkness and midnight sun alike. Viking Longhouse. Early farmers shared a single timber hall with their livestock. Heavy pine posts carried low thatched roofs that hugged the ground against Atlantic gales, while slightly leaning walls shed rain. A central hearth burned day and night, its smoke filtering through roof slots and tanning the beams dark. Excavations at Borg on Lofoten reveal longhouses stretching 70 meters, true wooden ships of the land. Inside, carved posts marked family rank and set the stage for winter storytelling. Laftewerk. By the Middle Ages, Norwegians had perfected lafting, the interlocking corner notch. Spruce logs fitted so tightly that wind could not whistle through, with moss chinking for extra warmth. A loft above stored grain and linens, while sod lifted by birch bark capped the roof and sprouted summer grass. 17th-century log farms still dot valleys, their silvered walls showing how a joinery tradition traveled later with emigrants to North America. Røykstue. Before chimneys reached the countryside, smoke huts kept an open hearth without a flue. Soot coated the interior to a satin sheen that protected wood from rot and insects. Small vents under the eaves let smoke drift out slowly, trading clear air for steady heat. Families cooked, slept, and dried fish under the same dark rafters. Preserved examples in Trønderlån capture the half-lit atmosphere of medieval winters. Stabbur. Every farm guarded its grain and cured meat in a stabbur. Short log posts rested on flat stones, leaving a gap no mouse could cross. Corner dovetails overhung the walls, and a ladder step was pulled away at night. Tarred red-brown, the loft became a rural bank vault, its deep eaves and peaked gables now icons of folk design. Rorbu. Bright red Rorbuer perch on piles above the tide along the cod coast. One end stores nets and oars, the other offers bunks for crews riding out winter fisheries. Plank walls, turf roofs, and narrow windows conserve heat yet dry quickly in salt wind. Many now host tourists, but working cabins still follow plans recorded in sagas 9 centuries ago. Nordlandshus. North of Trondheim, coastal farms favor the Nordlandshus. 2 timber stories face the fjord, with a central smoke room called Eldhus, and later clapboard cladding over log walls. Low gables shed horizontal rain, and deep door hoods shelter arrivals from sea spray. Painted ochre, red, or white, these houses line the E6 and Hurtigruten route, greeting ships with a quiet, upright stance. Trønderlån. Central Norway's long farmhouse, the Trønderlån, grows room by room along a common roof. Family, servants, and animals stay close behind endless, horizontal siding and a centered porch. Each marriage adds a new bay, turning genealogy into architecture. White window frames and low slate roofs give the building the calm of a train waiting beside the fields. Empire-Gård. After 1814, Norwegian towns adopted the Napoleonic Empire style, but built it in wood. Row houses display pale clapboards, low-hipped roofs, and classical door pilasters. Chimneys align along party walls, and symmetrical sash windows bring order to narrow streets. Whole quarters of Trondheim, Fredrikstad, and Arendal preserve this timber echo of European grandeur. Sveitserstil Villa. Railways and sawmills of the late 19th century imported Swiss chalet taste. Scroll-cut barge boards, wrap-around verandas, and deep eaves dressed otherwise plain balloon frames. Painted creams and moss greens, these villas brought alpine romance to towns like Ålesund and Lillehammer. Their decorative brackets still cast lace-like shadows on summer evenings. Dragestil. Around 1900 architects turned to Viking carvings for national inspiration. Roof ridges sprouted dragon heads, porch posts intertwined with beasts, and dark tar stains echoed stave churches. Although framed with modern studs, the ornament reclaimed a mythic past for a young nation. The wooden Grand Hotel at Dalen stands as a quiet dragon among the pines. Jugend. The 1904 fire-leveled Ålesund, and the city rose again in Art Nouveau stone. Curving bay windows, plant-inspired reliefs, and sea-blue tiles replaced earlier timber rows. Steel frames hid behind plaster swirls, freeing facades for broad windows that welcome Atlantic light. Ålesund remains a living catalog of Jugend ideals, unique in Norway for its scale and unity. Funkis. Functionalism arrived in the 1930s as Funkis. Flat roofs, white render, and corner ribbon windows preached health and daylight. Plans opened around a fireplace instead of corridors, and built-in cupboards saved space. Forest lots above Oslo still display crisp boxes softened by mossy stone terraces and mature birch trunks. Post-war type. Rebuilding after 1945 demanded fast, affordable homes. Light platform frames, shallow pitched roofs, and compact three-bedroom plans met the need. Kit parts traveled by rail, and oil stoves warmed tight rooms. Painted ochre or pale blue, these houses still line valley suburbs, modest monuments to the welfare state. Blokkbebyggelse. Housing cooperatives of the 1950s raised long lamella blocks 3 to 5 stories tall and taller point blocks nearby. Prefabricated concrete panels sped construction, while continuous balconies added daylight. Shared laundries and play yards fostered community in new districts, such as Oslo's Lambertseter and Bergen's Fyllingsdalen. Their blunt geometry tells the story of post-war growth and modern planning. Rekkehus. The 1960s embraced denser living, with Rekkehus terraces. Party walls cut heat loss, each unit kept a small garden, and car-free lanes linked children's playgrounds. Vertical timber siding alternates with brick, giving rhythm without excess cost. The design translates social democratic ideals into everyday streets. Atriumhus. Single-story L-shapes wrap sheltered courtyards, hiding private glass walls behind blank street facades. High fences block wind, while skylights and narrow roof lights draw sun deep inside. Residents enjoy outdoor rooms unseen by neighbors, a suburban freedom within city limits. Brick and timber versions spread through 1970s developments near Oslo and Stavanger. Terrassehus. Hilly terrain encouraged 1970s designers to stagger floors half a story apart. Short stairs link kitchen, living, and bedrooms, following the slope without heavy excavation. Cedar cladding, exposed beams, and sunken conversation pits echo the era's natural ethos. Wide picture windows frame fjord views while keeping a low roofline. Hytte. The Norwegian dream ends at the cabin door. Whether a simple log shed or a glass-walled retreat, the hit leaves city routines behind. Off-grid panels replace power lines, and wood stoves gather family around firelight. Unfinished pine, wool blankets, and lake or trail nearby complete the ritual of escape. A-frame Hytte. Ski boom years produce the A-frame, a steep triangular roof that sheds snow and shelters a loft. Large south windows catch low winter sun, while gable walls stay almost blank against cold winds. Prefab kits let owners raise a cabin in a single summer. Many still line alpine roads, their crisp geometry now softened by lichen and drifted snow. Massivtrehus. Cross-laminated spruce panels stack like giant boards to form airtight shells. Triple glazing and heat recovery ventilation cut heating needs almost to zero. even north of the Arctic Circle. Black-stained cladding and raw zinc nod to tradition while storing carbon. Sensors and thermal cameras guide builders more than folklore once did. Modulhus. Rising rents spur stackable flats craned into place with kitchens and baths pre-fitted. Steel frames wrap timber cores, letting blocks rise to 5 stories beside tram lines in days. Green roofs and shared terraces trade floor area for community. For students and newcomers, pods keep the city affordable without widening its footprint. Plus energy. Wood now reaches high with Mjøsternet, an 18-story timber tower in Brumunddal. Glulam columns and diagonal trusses resist wind, proving forests can replace concrete and steel. Solar facades and fjord-sourced heat pumps let the building export more energy than it uses each year. It points to a future where Nordic skylines grow from local trees. Thanks for watching. Let me know if I missed your favorite style, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more architecture videos.